Hello and welcome to Verdictum. I am Ananya Singh and you're watching today's legal news, where we update you with the recent important legal developments across the nation. Let's take a look at the headlines. Supreme Court to decide whether ad funds of Delhi government be transferred for rapid rail project. PIL in Patna High Court challenges amendments by Bihar Government, increasing reservation to 65%. President Droupadi Murmu advocates All India Judicial Service for inclusive judiciary, unveils Ambedkar Statue in Supreme Court. Court rejects Delhi police request to withdraw complaints in 2020 Delhi Riots case. NCLAT postpones final hearing in Google's appeal against CCI's Rs 936 crore penalty. Now the headlines in detail. The Supreme Court will continue hearing on November 28th, pleas seeking fulfillment of promised funds for the implementation of RRTS scheme by the Delhi government. The application is filed by the National Capital Region Transport Corporation, which is a joint venture company of the Government of India and states of Delhi, Haryana, Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh, and is entrusted with the implementation of the Regional Rapid Transit System project. A bench of Justice S.K. Kaul and Justice Sudhanshu Dhulia will take into consideration if the government of Delhi was able to make arrangements of funds towards the fulfillment of its share for the construction of the Delhi-Alwar and Delhi-Panipat corridor of the RRTS project. NCRTC, in its application presented before the top court on November 21st, has said that the Delhi government has breached its undertaking given earlier to the Supreme Court by not releasing funds for the project. The top court in this regard has said that it was constrained to direct that funds allocated for advertisements by the Delhi government be transferred to the RRTS project. The court said if such national projects are to be affected and against that money being spent on advertisement, we would have been inclined to direct those funds be transferred for this project. The Apex Court, however, kept its order in abeyance for a period of 1 week and said that if the funds as promised for the RRTS project are not transferred, the said order will come into operation on November 28th. Interestingly, according to RTI replies by the Directorate of Information and Publicity, Delhi government spending on advertisements has increased by over 4,000% over 10 financial years, ending with 2021-2022. A public interest litigation has been filed in the High Court of Patna, challenging the constitutional validity of the amendments made by the Bihar government to increase the reservation in educational institutions and government jobs to 65%. The quota will be extended towards the scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, backward classes and extremely backward classes of the state. The state legislature has increased the existing reservation from 50% to 65%. With this, the total quantum of reservations will now stand at 75%, after taking into account the already existing reservation of 10% for the economically weaker sections. The PIL challenges the constitutional validity and seeks the stay on the new laws enacted through two bills by the Bihar legislature, namely the Bihar Reservation for Scheduled Castes, Scheduled Tribes and Other Backward Classes Amendment Act of 2023 and the Bihar Admission in Educational Institutions Reservation Amendment Act of 2023. The bills were enacted on November 10th this year, received the governor's assent on November 18th and were notified in the Bihar Gazette on November 21st. It is contended that the decision to increase the reservation quota was prompted after the Bihar Caste Survey, which calculated the SC, ST, OBC and EBC population to be about 63% in Bihar. The caste-based survey was also under challenge before the top court recently for being arbitrary and usurping the power of the union. It is also noteworthy that the Supreme Court has previously, in the judgment of Indira Sohni, capped the reservation quota in jobs and related fields at 50%. The laws enacted by the Bihar government now surpasses this limit. In a significant address during the Constitution Day celebrations organized by the Supreme Court of India, President Droupadi Murmu advocated the establishment of an All India Judicial Service. She emphasized that this will create a more inclusive judiciary by providing opportunities to brilliant youngsters to promote their talents from lower to higher levels and nurture individuals from diverse backgrounds. President Murmu highlighted on the unique role of the judiciary in the constitutional framework and underscored the importance of a varied representation on the bench to serve better the cause of justice. She emphasized on the need for a merit-based, competitive, and transparent selection process that could bring judges from different backgrounds into the judicial system. President Murmu further said, "I leave it to your wisdom to devise any effective mechanism that you deem for to achieve this objective of strengthening the justice delivery system." Union Law Minister Arjun Ram Meghwal and Chief Justice of India D.Y. Chandrachud, along with other judges of the Apex Court and High Courts, also marked their attendance at the event. President Murmu also unveiled a 7 feet tall statue of Father of the Constitution B.R. Ambedkar in the Supreme Court premises. Notably, Constitution Day is observed on November 26th every year since 2015 and commemorates the adoption of the Constitution of India by the Constituent Assembly in 1949. Earlier, this day was celebrated as Law Day. In a recent development, a Delhi court has dismissed the application filed by the Delhi police seeking to withdraw 3 complaints linked to the 2020 Northeast Delhi riots. Additional Sessions Judge Pulastya Puramachala, presiding over the case involving 11 accused in connection with the communal riots, asserted that any plea in conflict with the final report in a case based on charge sheets is not tenable. While considering the submissions of the Special Public Prosecutor, the judge expressed that an application taking a stand contrary to the prosecution in the charge sheets is not maintainable. Such applications should be based on the final stand taken by the prosecution in the formal document, that is the charge sheet. The matter has now been scheduled for hearing on December 14th. The National Company Law Appellate Tribunal has postponed the final hearing in Google's appeal against the Competition Commission of India's order, which imposed a substantial penalty of Rs 936 crores on the tech giant for allegedly exploiting its dominant position within the Play Store ecosystem. As per reports, the NCLAT issued a notice on November 24th, rescheduling the hearing slated for November 28th. On September 25th this year, the matter was listed before the NCLAT bench of Chairman Justice Ashok Bhushan and Justice Alok Srivastava, which directed the parties, including the CCI and contesting startups, to file their replies within 4 weeks and listed the matter for hearing on November 28th. The penalty on the tech giant was imposed as a result of its abusing the dominant position with regards to the policies of Play Store, which is the digital distribution service operated and developed by Google from where mobile apps are downloaded. The CCI based its penalty on the ground that Google has restricted app developers from using any third-party billing or payment processing services to purchase apps for in-app billing on the Play Store. The CCI held that making app developers to mandatorily rely on the Google Play billing system was an unfair practice. CCI also highlighted that Google was following a discriminatory practice by not using the GBPS system for its own app YouTube. The regulator also directed Google to cease and desist from unfair practices, which was challenged before the NCLAT, which is an appellate tribunal for CCI. Google had initially also approached the Supreme Court in the matter, but later withdrew the case. That was all on today's legal news. Thank you and keep watching Verdictum, and subscribe to our channel and download the Verdictum app on iOS and Android to keep yourself updated with authentic legal news.